I will never underestimate the power of legends after learning this. Arav, Kavya, Rohan, and Mira. 4 friends bound by an unquenchable thirst for adventure. This time their compass pointed towards Durgapur, an abandoned village shrouded in eerie tales and whispered warnings. They were drawn to the mysteries that lay dormant within its heart. Legends spoke of restless spirits and unexplained disappearances.
We've heard the stories, but really, how bad can it be?
The friends, however, scoffed at these rumors, their youthful exuberance blinding them to the village's palpable aura of dread. Their excitement was contagious as their jeep rumbled down the dusty path. They were ready to uncover the truth behind the legends, their backpacks filled with supplies and their hearts brimming with anticipation. Little did they know Durgapur had its own plans, its ancient secrets waiting to be unveiled. I bet you didn't know the air grew heavy as they crossed the village border. An unsettling silence hung in the air, broken only by the rustling leaves and their own footsteps. Dilapidated houses stood like skeletal remains, crumbling walls whispered tales of a forgotten time. The wind seemed to carry murmurs of the past, whispers that sent shivers down their spines. Their laughter faded, replaced by an uneasy tension that settled upon them like a shroud.
Come on, it's just the wind playing tricks on us.
Yeah, we're just letting our imaginations run wild.
But Arav and Mira felt it too, an undeniable presence that watched their every move. The sun began its descent, casting long, eerie shadows that danced to the rhythm of the wind. As darkness enveloped Durgapur, so did a sense of foreboding. The village was coming alive, but not in a way they had expected. Why are there not more people talking about the eerie reflections in Durgapur's old well? Its stone walls were weathered and worn, a testament to the passage of time. Driven by curiosity, Arav peered into its depths. The water was still, reflecting the last rays of the setting sun, but as Arav gazed at his reflection, a sense of unease crept over him. His features appeared distorted, twisted into a grotesque mockery.
What the?
He blinked, expecting the image to correct itself, but the distorted reflection remained, a sinister grin spreading across its face. A cold hand seemed to grip his heart, squeezing the air from his lungs. He stumbled back, his voice catching in his throat as he tried to warn his friends. But they were too engrossed in their own explorations, their senses dulled by the oppressive atmosphere of Durgapur. The sun dipped below the horizon, plunging the village into darkness. And as the last sliver of light disappeared, so did the distorted reflection in the well. But the feeling of dread that had settled over Arav remained, a harbinger of the horrors that awaited them. I bet you didn't know that an ancient temple stood in ruins on the village outskirts. It was a testament to a time long gone, its crumbling facade adorned with intricate carvings that hinted at forgotten rituals. A sense of unease washed over them as they stepped across the threshold. The air inside was heavy, thick with the scent of decay and something else, something ancient and unsettling.
This place, it feels like it's watching us.
They moved cautiously through the temple's darkened corridors, their footsteps echoing through the emptiness. The walls were adorned with faded murals, depicting scenes of a prosperous past and terrifying deities. As they ventured deeper, they discovered a chamber, its entrance concealed by a curtain of cobwebs. The air here was even heavier, charged with an unseen energy that sent shivers down their spines. It was as if they were intruding on a sacred, forbidden space. Exposing the dark secrets in Durgapur.
A chill ran down Mira's spine as she brushed aside the cobwebs, revealing an inscription etched into the wall. Her eyes widened as she recognized the ancient script. It spoke of a terrifying spirit, a guardian of Durgapur's dark secrets.
The inscription told of a time when the village thrived, blessed by the gods. But prosperity bred greed, and the villagers turned away from their deities, their hearts consumed by darkness.
As punishment for their transgressions, the gods unleashed a terrifying spirit. It exacted a terrible price, claiming the villagers one by one until only silence remained.
The inscription warned those who dared to uncover Durgapur's secrets. The spirit, it proclaimed, still guarded the village, its wrath reserved for those foolish enough to disturb its slumber. Fear tightened its grip on the friends. The legend seemed all too real in the oppressive darkness of the temple. The air crackled with an unseen energy, and they could almost hear the echo of the spirit's wrath. What's something people don't know about hidden chambers? Despite the growing fear gnawing at their courage, the friends pressed on, their curiosity now intertwined with a sense of morbid fascination. They had come too far to turn back. Behind the chamber, they discovered a narrow passage concealed by the temple's crumbling architecture. The air grew colder as they descended, the darkness closing in around them like a suffocating blanket. The passage opened into a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in the darkness above. A single shaft of moonlight pierced through a crack in the ceiling, illuminating dust motes dancing in the stale air. The chamber was eerily silent, the air thick with anticipation. They could hear their own heartbeats echoing in the stillness, each thud a stark reminder of their own vulnerability. Their flashlights cut through the oppressive darkness, revealing walls adorned with macabre murals. They depicted scenes of sacrifice and suffering, their colors vivid despite the passage of time. The images seemed to writhe and contort in the flickering light, their silence speaking volumes of the horrors they had witnessed. Am I the only one that didn't know about the shadow within? In the center of the chamber they found it, a stone pedestal upon which rested an ornately carved box. It was crafted from a dark, unknown material, its surface cold and smooth to the touch. An air of malevolence seemed to emanate from it, sending shivers down their spines.
As if in a trance, Rohan reached out a trembling hand towards the box. He couldn't explain the compulsion that drew him to it, the need to see what lay hidden within its depths.
A low growl echoed through the chamber, stopping Rohan's hand inches from the box. The air crackled with unseen energy and the temperature plummeted. The shadows on the walls danced with renewed vigor, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes. They whirled around, their flashlight beams searching the darkness for the source of the growl. But there was nothing there. Nothing but the oppressive silence and the growing sense of dread that threatened to consume them. And then they saw it. A shadow, darker than the surrounding darkness, coalescing near the ceiling. It writhed and pulsed, growing larger with each passing second. Terror rooted them to the spot, their breaths catching in their throats. You need to watch this if you struggle with understanding the unknown. The shadow descended slowly at first, then with a speed that defied logic. It swooped down upon them, its silence more terrifying than any scream. They could feel its icy breath on their faces, smell the stench of decay that clung to it like a shroud. Panic surged through them. They stumbled back, their legs heavy with terror, their screams lost in the oppressive silence of the chamber. The flashlight beams danced wildly, casting grotesque shadows that danced in tandem with the approaching darkness. The shadow lunged, engulfing them in its icy embrace. The last thing they saw before darkness claimed them was the ornate box, its surface gleaming faintly in the darkness. It seemed to pulse with an evil energy, a malevolent entity awakened from its slumber. Their fate, sealed within the heart of the hidden chamber, remained unknown. Durgapur had claimed them, its dark secrets guarded by the terrifying shadow that haunted its ruins. The village remained silent, its whispers lost in the wind, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to fall prey to its chilling embrace.